Hi everyone. I have to apologize. I'm half an hour late. This is this is my problem with Sundays. On Sundays, I'm fairly relaxed, which is how it should be. But I also know that there's a lot of people who enjoy the short Sunday seed video. So I'm really sorry. I've been very relaxed. I was reading a book and I got really pulled in and enjoying it. So yeah, apologies. Right, so today we are going to talk about highly reactive people. So the last two Sundays, we have talked about what to do when you are with highly reactive people. And we're not done with the discussion because highly reactive people makes up such a big part of society. And so often we are highly reactive people. So it's fairly easy for us to think about it. We don't want anybody to say you are high maintenance. I mean, like that's one of those harsh kind of judgments, which is as harsh as you are in denial or you're a control freak. But unfortunately, all of them are sometimes true. Now, what makes us high maintenance? It's not wanting a Prada or a Gucci handbag. That's not wanting to go on holiday in the Seychelles every year. That is not what makes us high maintenance. What makes us high maintenance is when we don't know how to regulate our own emotions. There, that's it. If we don't know how to regulate our own emotions, we're going to do two things. We are going to expect of somebody else to regulate it for us by giving us what we need. We are going to be quite desperate. And so we can use all kinds of ways to make sure that we get what we need. We mostly need unconditional love, affirmation that we are a worthwhile individual, and the kind of attention that makes us feel like we matter. Now, we don't get those when, and we don't know those things for ourselves. We are going to be high maintenance. But also, what's going to make us high maintenance is the second one. The second one is this. If we have a lot of unfinished business, a lot of triggers, a lot of hurts, a lot of not feeling good about ourselves, a lot of memory loss around our childhood, a lot of deep yearnings without names, a lot of have to's, it have to, then we can more or less be assured that we have some stuff that's unresolved inside us and that is going to come out. Now, the unresolved stuff inside us is really what's called our triggers or what causing our triggers. So our triggers are going to be things that makes all of these feelings of unworthiness, not being good enough, not being important to somebody else, um, not fitting in, or having to be always better and better, having to excel in order to be acceptable, having to be like other people to fit in, to be acceptable. So all of those feelings are triggered by triggers, by when people touch that little raw spot that we have not worked through. So our job, if we don't want to be high maintenance, is to make sure we have no baggage left so that we're not easily triggered. Because when we are easily triggered, we're going to vomit our feelings over who's in front of us. And so that is highly reactive people. And highly reactive people are not only the hysterical people that, that lose their shit and throw their toys at the cot. It's sometimes a person who is very nice and calm and controlling. And it has to be like this, very judgmental and very, very definite about what they believe, what their feelings are about something. They can actually tell us in really good, great detail how something should be done and how things can't be done. Now, I was one of those, nothing you can tell me about that. And you're often right too, because you don't like being wrong. So therefore, you research until you're actually sure that you're not talking rubbish. And that affirms again for you that you are right, and therefore you've got to keep on being who you are because you've been right, you've researched it, and life and history have now shown you that you are actually right. But so that's hard. When you're that person, it's really hard to get through to you because you make sure you are right about stuff. But geez, it makes you high maintenance. It makes you hard to live with. How are you going to know this? Because people are going to start avoiding you. They're going to start finding reasons why they don't want to be around you. They are going to start watching rugby with the guys a lot, or they are going to find a charity they are immersed in. They may become immersed in their children, so there's no place for the spouse. Um, may hang around at work so much that there is no time for home because it's easier than going home, and there's all this um, reactivity around. They may become very punishing. They may become passive aggressive around you because they don't have the words to counter you. They're going to start showing you with their behavior that they're not liking what you say. So sometimes, and very often, you have a very controlling person, very precise, very right, um, very organized, with somebody who is less organized, less verbally ready to defend themselves, less perfectionistic. So we have those two together. The other person may just withdraw or become passive aggressive. So both of those ones are clues that whatever we are doing is not working. And that is the only thing. Don't get offended when you listen to me and say, I'm not high maintenance and I'm just right and this is how it should be, because you will mess up your relationships full stop. Really. Been there, done that, get it. You will mess up your relationships, and if you start looking around and somebody's already withdrawing from you and already not willing to interact with you and already or too scared to interact with you or whatever it is, or just unwilling, pulling back, spending time with somebody else. You didn't get into that relationship because you were not spending time together. This is something that happens if we are high maintenance, that people don't want to spend time with us. So that's the one side of the picture. It is also people who very easily lose it. So very easily triggered, very easily feel hurt. We are going to call ourselves sensitive. Everybody around us have to change because I'm so sensitive. Okay, bullshit. You need to grow up and learn how to take care of your own emotions so you don't vomit it all over everyone else. That is your job as an adult. It's one of the defining things about being an adult and being a child. Adults learn how to control their emotions. I don't mean withdraw, don't say anything, switch it down. I mean, I'm feeling this, I don't like this. What is it all about? Oh, I feel left out, I feel not important. Let me talk about it. Let me go handle it, but not just vomit my feelings over everybody else. What does vomiting our feelings mean? Okay, so this is important. When you blame people, when you judge people, when you don't focus on yourself, but you focus on whatever everybody else around you is doing wrong, when you don't know how to make yourself happy, when you are judgmental, when nothing is ever good enough, when you are overcritical, not reasonable, I'm not talking about reasonable, I'm talking about overcritical. And I don't care if you're right or not. All of us can be, all of us can be right, but not having to just shoot off our mouths all the time and make other people wrong. So, and get personal. Don't forget about that one. Get very personal. Call people names. Use demeaning language. Look down on other people. That means that you are not focusing on yourself. That means you found another place to put your focus. That means you're never going to get good communication because nobody can communicate with somebody who judges and demeans them and um, use personal language, judge them. Nobody can fight against somebody who guilts them. Make you guilty, make you guilty. Nobody can fight that. It's very hard if somebody makes you guilty all the time. If you deny culpability for everything because you cannot be, you just don't have it in you, your injuries are so much that you can't say, I'm sorry I was wrong. That makes you high maintenance. Okay, people, check, watch. I'm sorry I was wrong. I was wrong so many times in my life. I am sorry I was wrong. What is it taking away from me? Nothing. Look here, nothing fell off. Nothing. I'm still here. It didn't take anything away from me. It gave me back my power, because once I figured out what the heck I was doing wrong, and I was doing a lot wrong, and I was holding on to a lot of beliefs, and I was not happy. I needed to be made happy. But once I figured out all of these things, life changes. Life changed dramatically. So if you found yourself a little bit irked by what I just said, good. Go back, watch it again. And you can interact with me with the greatest pleasure, because it is a hard way to live. And even as I speak, you will know the truth of this. It's a hard way to live, because there's always a little visible barrier between you and other people. If you learn how to not do this and you find the better tools in the place of it, that invisible barrier goes away. I'm the queen of that story. I've done it, been there, done that. It's a hard way to live. You look untouchable, you look like you're in control of stuff, you look like you are just doing fine. And you're not, because all of us need other people, we all need connection. So that facade may fool the whole world. It's not going to fool me. I have been there, I have done that. It doesn't make us happy. We have to absolutely find out we are high maintenance. It's so important to find out if we are being high maintenance. And let me tell you something. The people with the softest interiors, the marshmallow inside, the cotton wool inside, the people with best intentions, with the highest values, with such hopes and dreams and desires for himself, end up in this place of being high maintenance. There's a very high proportion of us. We are not doing any of this on purpose. We are doing it out of freaking desperation, because we need attention and love and unconditional acceptance. Talk to me, let me help you. Because it's freaking well possible to live an easier life. I promise you that. I see this every single day. I just see it. I'm so blessed to do what I do, because I see it in people's lives. And suddenly I got feeling drops, and you go, how did I not know this? So if there's anything that touches you, I want you to talk to me. Okay, so I'm going to check if there's any questions now. I'm going to introduce you to my other cat. Got another cat here, not my muffin. There's another cat here. Right, let me see. Let's see what this says. Okay, good question. Okay, is being high maintenance the same as or different than me being needy? Same thing, Mitch. Same thing. Okay. I mean, needy is a whole thing that I want to talk about a lot, but I'm not going to talk about needy now, maybe another time. Sometimes we judge ourselves as needy because we want normal human interaction, and the other person is not emotionally available to do it. And then we feel needy because the other person has got a flaw of not being able to communicate and be connected and give of themselves. Now, that's not the same thing. But being needy, if we are truly needy as in, I don't feel fine unless you fix me. I don't feel fine unless you keep on putting into me. That makes us high maintenance, because we always need external validation, external confirmation that we are okay. We need to learn that we are okay. Full stop. Without needing external validation in order for us not to be needy. So I hope that answers your question, Mitch. Let me know if it doesn't. We need to find all this in ourselves. We cannot expect others to give us this validation. Yes, that's perfect. Oh, who's Facebook user? Hi, Facebook user. I love what you're saying. I wish I knew what your name was. But yeah, totally spot on. Have to give it to yourself. Okay. All right, Stephen, all you've said is spot on. I used to be high maintenance, still am now and then, but thanks to you getting better. But I'm not sure if this is Stephen. This might be the other one. It's your own Facebook. Um, it's a big pleasure. Look, if you find out that you are that you're high maintenance, like yes, yippee, even if it stings. If you find out you're with somebody who's high maintenance, I think you sort of know that already. But it's quite nice to know it's not me. I can't fix this by myself. Two people have to fix this. Okay, let me see if there's any more questions. I'm going to give some more time there for questions. Let's introduce you to my other boy. Here's my Smokey. He's been sleeping right next to me. Fast asleep. Sorry, my boy. But I have to say, Smokey is here tonight and not Muffin. Muffin is way over there, which is very weird. But Smokey is here with me. Okay, so let me see. Any more questions there? If there's no more questions, then I am going to sign off. No, I've done that one already. Okay. All right. Okay, like always, I'll come back and I'll look at all the comments. If you want to talk to me, contact me privately. I'm happy. Send me an email. I'm very happy to answer your questions. Back at you, Midge. I'm very happy to answer your questions. I mean, this is because of people's questions that I've been answering this. So your questions are the best. It helps me give you content that's going to really help you. It's going to be very practical and applicable, and which you can use in your own life. Anyways, if any of you are watching there wants to give somebody a tip, if you've learned something in your own life, and you want to give a tip, please go ahead and share that. I love that. It's so good if we can all help each other. And if you know somebody who needs this, you know who I'm talking about, right? Then please share this video. You never know. Sometimes we have to hear things a lot of times before it gets through to us. But just this little bit of awareness and hearing it. I say a lot of these things over and over in different ways because just one day we are ready and we can actually hear it. So if you know of somebody who needs to hear it, please share it. Give me some likes there at the top. If you're on YouTube, give us a follow and leave some comments. It helps. It helps when I. It helps Facebook to know that more people want to see it. It helps a lot. The Facebook algorithm is terrible nowadays. It doesn't show anything to anybody anymore. And we all know we are. Thanks for that heart. I love it. Thank you. Really, really love it when they pop up there. And we all know people need this and the world needs this. So thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Sorry again when I was late. And I hope it was worth your while. Lots of love to all, even everybody watching the replay. Thank you so much, and see you next week.